I want you to remember, Clark. I want you to remember, in all of your private moments, my hand at your throat. I want you to remember the one man who beat you. Batman The Dark Knight Returns, with Part 1 being released in 2012 and Part 2 being released in 2013, and is directed by Jay Olivia, who is also behind such other DC animated features like Justice League Dark, Green Lantern First Flight, Superman Batman Public Enemy, Justice League Crisis on Two Earths, and Batman Under the Red Hood. And this film is starring the voices of Peter Weller, Ariel Winter, David Selby, Wade Williams, Michael Emerson, and Mark Valley. It has been 10 years since the last sighting of the Dark Knight in Gotham City, and crime has steadily been on the rise. And as the idea of justice in the city gets more political, the do-gooders and justice fighters are also getting old. But the former Batman as Bruce Wayne has had enough of sitting in the shadows, getting older, and not using his fists. So Bruce Wayne decides to take up the mantle of Batman again to start establishing order and justice to this almost lost city. While the legend and fame of the Batman starts to grow, politicians in Washington look to put a stop to that quickly by enlisting the help of the Big Blue Boy Scout Superman. And that is just a brief plot synopsis of what the story of The Dark Knight Returns is. There is so much that happens in this film, in this two-parter animated feature, and in the original graphic novel written by Frank Miller. See, Frank Miller was over at Marvel, and he was drawing Daredevil, and Daredevil was a big success, and he had this kind of dark past and dark brooding style behind him, that when Frank Miller came over to DC, he's like, give me Batman, because I can basically do the same thing with that guy. And what we get is one of, if not the most iconic stories of Batman in all of Batman history. Because before this, Batman was kind of your, oh, yes, chum, let's go get the bad guy, and I'm the world's greatest detective. But after this graphic novel was released, all of a sudden Batman became that dark character, started brooding more, and everything, really every character in the DC, and hell, it bled over to Marvel and any comics, really. Everything started getting darker, and we wanted these flawed characters more, and we wanted to see their troubled past and their strugglings of winning a fight. That's why all the DC characters in the 90s in comics were just so dark, all because of Frank Miller's work with The Dark Knight Returns. So here it is, finally. It's one of those graphic novels that's kind of like The Watchmen, where everyone was like, well, you just can't adapt it into any type of live-action feature. Even though Zack Snyder did in 2009 with The Watchmen, and it was frickin' amazing. And the TV show was frickin' fantastic as well. But this was hailed as one of them. Oh, it's The Dark Knight Returns. Is it gonna make sense to people? Are people gonna like it because it's so politically charged for the time with Reagan? Newsflash, people aren't dumb. They will enjoy it, and my god, I enjoyed this thing to death. Batman The Dark Knight Returns is one of, if not the best animated features that Warner Brothers Animation has ever put out. And they do take their own artistic liberties. They take away really the inner monologue of Batman when he's out there prowling, when he's putting the suit back on, talking about, oh, you're clumsy, oh, how you hate what's going on in the world politically, talking about all the potential choices that he has with jumping onto that ledge. Here, all of that's gone, but a lot of the narrative is given to us through news reports, which I love. I'm glad they kept a majority of those in here. And it's another story of Batman allowing the audience to kind of question the ideas behind this whole Batman project and what Batman stands for. He's a private citizen looking to go out every single night and do the right thing and save and provide justice to people who are doing a disservice to their community. But there's also the debate of, well, if Batman didn't exist, then some of these high-profile characters like the Joker and Two-Face and Catwoman, they wouldn't exist. So who started what, the chicken or the egg type thing? It's all only amplified in this movie. When Batman comes back, all of a sudden, that's when the comatose Joker that's in his padded cell, when his eyes starts to peek open a little bit, and the smile starts to come back, and all of a sudden, this dark, disgusting, cruel, evil-looking clown prince of crime returns to basically make Batman do what he said he would never do. One of the most iconic scenes is them in the love tunnel and stabbing each other to death. Very fitting that it's in a tunnel of love, seeing how these two people, even though they hate each other, they actually kind of love each other in some way. And I love Peter Weller's voice as Bruce Wayne and Batman. I don't know, there's some type of graveliness to it that adds years onto age sound of a voice, because this Batman, he's supposed to be in his 60s and 70s, and you can hear that just in his voice alone. Michael Emerson has a creepy ass performance and creepy ass voice for the Joker. Hell, just the animation of the Joker alone is so iconic. It borrows it from the comics perfectly, and seeing it animated on the big screen, it sends chills up your spine when you see that Batarang stuck in his eye, and when his neck is kind of broken, him taking the final steps of fully breaking it, and just seeing that laugh on his face while his body burns up. Oh, so good. So gory, it's so disgusting, yet it's so hauntingly beautiful, I would say. And of course, all leading up to the big climactic battle between Batman and Superman, this god figure, this person who would fight for all of the big powers that be, against this human being, this regular guy who is taking it upon himself to do the right thing, not doing it because anyone else told him to. And it's this one battle. Hell, this overall graphic novel is the reason why we got films like Batman vs. Superman, a movie that I really enjoyed. I know everyone out there didn't enjoy it. I get it. I've said my piece on it many times before. I'll probably talk about it tomorrow a little bit when it comes to my ranking of all the Batman movies over the last several decades. Each part on its own is about an hour 16, hour 15, so overall this film is 2.5 hours. I think this film could have been released theatrically and done quite well. But it's always safer to take these animated features and just do direct-to-DVD and direct-to-Blu-ray things, so definitely get it, but this is one of the best animated films that I've ever seen. It's not just action-y, all punchy-punchy and fighty-fighty. You look at the politics behind creating a character like Batman and doing what Batman does in the city of Gotham. And you look at the idea of legacy and what it means to leave behind and to inspire people to try to do what is right and what is good in the world. And talking about the responsibility of when you do step away, when you try to leave that legacy, what happens when you do, and the potential disappointment that you will have in yourself when you do step away and not everyone, or there isn't a second soul out there that shares your same appeal for justice and for what is right in this world as you do. I love these animated features. I could watch this all day long. I'm gonna give Batman The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2 5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I think I see blue. He looks glorious.
Alright everyone, that concludes my Batman animated week. Just looking at a couple of the Batman animated features. Tomorrow, I am releasing my ranking of all of the theatrically released Batman films over the last several decades tomorrow. It's a long video with me explaining my reasoning behind everything. I had a lot of fun recording it, so please check that one out tomorrow. And also go see the movie The Batman coming out this weekend. I'll try to get out and watch it. Again, I'm not sure how I feel about what's going on in the world right now, but it is Batman, so I may take the risk. So guys, if you've seen Batman The Dark Knight Returns, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you'll know the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time with my ranking of all of the theatrically released Batman films ever. But in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.